Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Afternoon FM. Today I have, you're like a fucking resident, man. You're always present at like art gallery, at like art like openings and stuff, bro. We have Tiger Burn Bamboo. How would you describe yourself?
I've always been in art shows. But it wasn't like I planned to be that persona. I just always been following my own inner truth, my own intuition. It just happened that way.
We're gonna be getting into a little bit of like Tiger's story, his background, like projects. He's hosted a couple events here at Prototype Patterson, and yeah, we're gonna get into it today. So Tiger, your name is O'Neill.
Correct, O'Neill.
O'Neill. Wait, say it one more time.
O'Neill.
O'Neill.
Yeah, but a lot of people has pronouncing the Spanish N.
Really?
So I just let them say O'Neill.
Okay, all right. And you are what?
I'm first generation Puerto Rican American. My mom was born in Puerto Rico. My dad was born in Puerto Rico.
And
a lot of my family from Arecibo from my dad's side and Manatee, my mom's side.
Shout out to Iris Vista just joining us from the building. His boots are sick.
Also from Arecibo.
Oh really?
Both sides of my family.
Huh.
And they met in Brooklyn.
Word. And you're first generation, so you grew up in the U.S.?
I grew up in Patterson till I was 15 and moved to Clifton from there. But I have spent like a few years in Puerto Rico. I spent 7th grade in Puerto Rico, and I spent like my early toddler years in Puerto Rico.
What brought you back to Puerto Rico?
I want to try to live there because I love the island. It's more, the culture's more relaxed and there's more community. There's more sense of community there.
Word. So you moved back after 7th grade. What's it like in school? Like what are you getting interested in like early on?
My education background?
Yeah.
I spend most of the time studying creative writing.
Yeah, I think you performed a couple poems and stuff.
Yeah. I took a lot of where'd you go? I took a lot of different classes. I took political class. I took intro to multimedia class. I took a lot of random classes in college.
Where'd you go?
Pacific Community College.
Nice.
The teacher there would always make you write like a bookload of essays. So that I'm grateful for that because that helped develop my writing.
I'm trying to get to charge my butt. What do you?
I took a public speech class, and everyone found it funny. I had like a plastic spider. I put it in my sleeve, and I'll talk about agnophobia. So the spider was one of those toy Halloween spiders that had a rubber spring. So it drew it to the audience. The audience would get freaked out, and then we'll talk about agnophobia and the spiders and stuff. And I was able to pass the class with that like one like gag.
All right, word. Yeah, so coming back to college, man. That's
Yeah. So I always had that like sense of humor.
Yeah. Want to go in and have a. How do you think it's gone and spiraled into your writing?
Fluid. I think it helps you become more of a fluid writer. And I think you sort of have to like adapt and be fluid as a writer because once people tend to spend so short. Like once they get used to your writing and your style, they sort of get like they either love it or get bored of it.
Yeah.
And like most writers aren't like Henry Cole or anything like that have that specific style that everyone loves and can never get tired of.
Yeah.
Most people have to keep practicing, adapting their writing style to whatever is like the zetus of the whatever the spirit of like the of the era that time.
Yeah. You have any specific like influences in terms of books or?
I loved Edgar Allan Poe, and I loved Jim Morrison as a songwriter for The Doors.
Do you like read the lyrics, like
Yeah,
reading the lyrics of
I
the Jim
would-
Morrison thing? Yeah, bro. He's fucking his. You ever watch the Doors movie?
Yeah, I love his but both their styles, what I got from them is atmospheric. My writing style is very atmospheric because that is what Edgar Allan Poe and Jim Morrison have in common.
Word. Alright, bro. What kind of Edgar Allan Poe like pieces are your like?
Well, like I like the story of like someone. He came up with like the first like thriller mysteries and like in the beginning of like you can sort of see how like action, horror, and sci-fi were beginning to build up as a gender,
Yeah.
as a genre
As a genre.
with his writing.
Word.
Because he'll talk about a guy who has like the beating heart was like buried in the wall.
The Telltale Heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Telltale
actually,
Heart.
I referenced that a lot, man. Had to take a quick cut, guys. Tiger brought his. What's the name of your dog, man?
Sky.
Sky. What's Sky? But we're gonna go into how you actually got Sky. Like go into like this man. So a little more context, man.
I took a train from Penn Station, Manhattan, all the way towards Oregon, Cabot Falls, Oregon. I was gonna take a bus there, but I was there for a few days and it was getting too cold, so I eventually took another train towards Reading. And
Yeah.
then from Reading, I took a taxi to Mount Shasta.
Yeah, Mount Shasta.
And then from Mount Shasta, I picked her up.
That's crazy, bro. You managed to do like Reading. It's like normally you end up at the bus station. You either get a car, or you're able to go somewhere. I lived in the mountains of Reading for like for 6 years, 6-7 years. It was good, man. It still is like my home, man. Shout out to Oak Run, fucking and it's crazy that you're in New Jersey and you're going all the way to fucking like to Reading, and landing in Reading. One, Reading is not straight up on the fucking. You have to like land in San Francisco, take a train up to Reading, and then like,
I
get
took
to
the-
a spot where you could stay in Reading.
I took the opposite way. I went from Oregon, because it went past through Denver,
Yeah.
the north part, and then from Oregon I went down to Reading.
Yeah.
Then from Reading, I took a taxi cab, like a 3-hour taxi cab.
Yeah.
So it was
Jesus
like,
Christ.
I pretty much spent like
How much money did you
six. It was like I spent maybe like $700
Really?
on a taxi cab.
That's nuts, bro. That's pretty crazy for just. But why Sky? Why did you do it just for this particular pit bull? And how did you find the dog?
She's a blue nose, Stanford Bull Terrier Husky mix, I believe.
Yeah.
She's a mutt, but like,
Yeah, you drove. Like.
but like I
traveled
fell in
across the
love. I
country.
fell in love with her blue. I fell in love with the puppy. She was up and so cute.
Yeah.
She's cause there's not many like dogs with blue eyes. And like I don't know, I just felt intuitively wanted her. I knew when I was younger, my dad promised me a dog, and then like he didn't get the dog, and it just gave me that umph that like I sort of want a dog now, before I didn't really want it so much. Maybe that's why, but like I don't know, I just intuitively was really drawn to her. I always picture myself like the dog I wanted in my head was like, I colored it red and white and blue eyes and like a certain look, like a 90s pit bull and like colonial times hound dog sort of mixed together in my head.
Yeah.
So I had that vision in my head for a really long time, and like when I saw the dog, like, this is the dog I want, this is the dog I need.
All right, bro. And you traveled across the country.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like flying a $700 taxi to get the. And how does it feel? How old is she right now?
She's about to be 5 months.
Mm. Oh, you went across for a baby. When did you go?
October 20th?
October 20th. Wow.
I think, no, it was before, yeah, like October 20th. And then I got her at September 30th. September 30th is when I finally have her because I was like taking the train. And then I waited for a while because the lady said, "Oh, I'll meet you in College Fall," and she never went there. And like, I kept waiting for a bus, and there's like the buses isn't at all like is in New Jersey. New Jersey, you wait 15 minutes to get a bus, and like, and over there, you can like a day, 2 weeks, and like the bus may never come.
Mm.
It's completely different. It's just
Whole different area, bro.
We're
crazy.
we're spoiled in the commute system we have here.
Yeah, oh yeah, the commute system's insane, bro. It's man, I like New Jersey's. New Jersey's is pretty crazy, bro. I don't have a car, so I fucking I really like not having a car, man, because it makes me walk, and when I walk, I can like take my photos. My photos are like what, you know, it kind of keeps me like going. I mean, it keeps me like I'm able to make something new, like a piece of art every day. And it's like, I like the walking part of it is where I actually can get the photos, you know what I mean? It's always handing on the shit that to be.
It's very meditating.
Yeah, it's a meditating process. I like commuting on public transit. New Jersey's transit's fucking good, man. I used to live in West Patterson, and I wanted to go visit my friend in Reading. And it was weird, like just thinking about like the actual travel of it, where it was like I walked down the street, I got on the fucking bus, I got to downtown Patterson, I got to Newark, and then I went a transfer, and then I was at Newark Airport, and then I was on a plane, and then I ended up in Reading like the next day, like, you know what I mean, like, or like the next like couple of hours, like I woke up. And by the end of the night, I was in California without having. It was pretty nuts. Not having to take an Uber or any of the other shit. Uber's pretty cool too. I fucking enjoy Ubers.
I tried to take a lift there.
Ubers.
I tried to take a lift there, and no one wanted to go because it was just it was a bump in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I always wondered. Cause when I was there, like you have to have a car. Like in Reading, you have to car. I had a Lexus. And I had an Element, and I had a Corolla too there. The Toyota Corolla was Toyota. It's weird because you're half like you want to save money on gas, and gas is insanely expensive. And fucking then there's like the Ford 250 motherfuckers who have like the really big trucks. So they're going, but you're traveling such long fucking distances that it's like it would be like $40 for gas like every day, or like maybe like $20 if I was in the Corolla. So $20 every single time you want to go to town, which is like yo, hang out, go to a Starbucks, be normal. You have to spend at least $20 to get there, and then you got to buy the shit then when you're in town, and it's just, it gets so fucking tolling, bro. That's the one thing, and it was just so long of a commute. Like every single day it'd be fucking 45 minutes, 45. But going from Reading to Mount Shasta, bro, that's even crazier. That's like, because Reading's the hub city, and Mount Shasta's kind of a very small city that's just kind of tucked away. So Reading ends up being this place where everybody lands. But it's such a strange town because it's very like Republican-y, but it's not.
It's very red. It's very conservative.
Very red. It's a very red. You understand a little bit where like the fucking base of like not even Trump, but like just like where some of the Republican values kind of like stand. Like it makes more sense over there. So like there's major cities like Reading, but then there are these communities that are on the outskirts of the city, right? And there's like they're growing communities. Sometimes it's filled with outlaws and tweakers and crazy shit. But you'll get where it's like there's no road where these people go, and there's really no electricity. They're surviving off the grid, so they're not really actually fucking doing anything. Like the government's not helping at all. Like it doesn't help like pave the road. Like the road is fucked up. They're not going to send a crew member. They're not going to install more electricity into the woods type of thing. It's like it's just never going to happen. So nobody's on the grid, which is somewhat of a choice. So the people who are off the grid, it's like I get some of them, but they do end up getting very like there's a very close there's a very close fucking like tight knit like community of it, the community aspect of it. But it's
they're very mesh bonded.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, but yeah, bro, it's but I don't know, but yeah, Reading's a strange place, man.
Yeah, I like Arcata a lot more.
Yeah.
It's by the coast. You see a lot of what people call trim migrants, like people who travel all over the
Yeah.
world just to trim wheat there.
Well,
You see a lot of
bro,
crust
that's
punk, gutter punk people.
yeah, there's like a couple other people like they'll come from Spain, they'll come from like
Especially Spain, because
Yeah.
Spain has it legalized, but like expensive to live in Spain,
Well,
and they don't,
it's-
and the currency is a lot lower
yeah,
than ours.
yeah, yeah. It's
So like they get paid way more in California than they do in Spain. So they have the experience to do it.
yeah,
So a lot of locals are mad at them because they can't compete with their experience. Because
yeah.
it's always been like a hippie family down the other hippie family type of thing. Because it's very, no one's really travel around anywhere. It's very tight knit, small
Yeah.
community area. So those people that was like their whole thing, and now they have to compete with people from like Spain, people from England,
Yeah.
people from all over. I met people from Argentina that were like that were volunteering in Antarctica. They were like volunteering with scientists in Antarctica. So like literally people have been all over. People have you can talk to people and experience how the whole world looks like just by talking to termigrants.
Yeah, bro. Fucking we spent a couple years, bro. Fucking just filming a documentary on the scene, bro. Shout out to Marijuana Paradise. But yeah, me and my buddy Alex Davies at Panda Rosa Production, bro. Fucking we filmed this whole like scene, this whole like the whole fucking like marijuana scene over there, and it was this great documentary, man. It was good. But it was like, you know, it was like living in the life in the mountains and like, you know, having those trimmigrants and talking to them, bro. They really do have it's different. It comes with a lot of drama and like a lot of like weird shit that happens with these guys, but it's like it's very you do get a perspective. It's like, you know, it's weird to see like
Yeah, you get like the weird people that you only hear about in like Sunny Philadelphia type
Yeah,
weird humor. You see those type of weird people like that.
yeah. Oof, shout out to Okran. Fucking but yeah, man. Cycling back. How'd you get the name Tiger Burn Bamboo?
It came. I was born year of the tiger element fire, and one of my friends took me to a spot in Koreatown, Jersey City.
Yeah.
And one of the pictures they had was like a tiger and a bamboo, and like with all the fog, all the steam, and the fog came over the picture,
Yeah.
it looked like the tiger was burning the bamboo.
Alright, bro. How do you find all the art events? It's like, I don't know. I've
feel
talked
like
to a couple people.
I feel like if you've been doing this, I've been hanging out with like the artsy people. I think like 2004.
Yeah.
2004, we hang out with like the artsy people.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Really? Oh,
I've been in the 90s rave when I was like 15.
really?
And it's cool seeing like DJs that were just like a German DJ will rent out like Greenwich Village, some club in Greenwich Village, and you'll hear like German industrial punk and
Yeah.
goth music, and like now it's like considered like a festy thing. Like you only used to pay like $400 to listen to the same type of music or spend like $60 to listen to that type of guy. But back then, it really was like free. The most you would pay to go to listen to the guy back in like the late '90s was like $10. You could spend like a warehouse and spend maybe like $15-20 the most.
Yeah.
It wasn't like 60, 80, 100, $400 like you spend now.
Huh. Oh, that's crazy, bro. Yeah.
I mean, like,
What's the most enlightening thing that you feel like what?
I lived in a school bus when I was and spent in Gabrielville. I was hanging out in Gabrielville,
In California?
California,
Nice.
and I
Huh.
lived in a school bus. And
When did you
I,
venture out to California? I mean, I'm gonna continue, but yeah, no, like.
but I was hanging out. There's this guy called Steve Hogg or something like that. I forgot his name. But like, he's a Alabama. He's from Alabama, and he's a train hopper. So I thought that was like super Dixie, right? But like, he started a non-freeze, a non-profit group called Volunteers on Wheels. So
Yeah.
like, he would just ask people to like, so I did community garden stuff like that. But like, to go to to get some contest done, and while I was living in a bus. But like, we went towards Oregon. He's gonna get a job trimming weed or something. So we went by Kiev Junction, Oregon, and on the way this guy in a Grateful Dead shirt with a water bottle. We're like, dude, we love your bus. Here's some sunshine.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is sunshine? And the guy was telling me it's acid. I'm like, because it was like random. You keep a water bottle. I'm like, hey, some sunshine. I thought he was just being high or whatever.
Yeah.
So I drank the water bottle, right?
Yeah.
And on their way, I was just I was able to see colors, kept the patterns and rainbow colors, and by the time, and when he ended up in the forest, I saw a hawk flying up in the sky during the dawn when the sky was on fire.
Yeah.
Falling down, and fell right into a hollow tree. And my mind just turned into this random symbolism. It just felt like it looked like an angel just falling out of the sky, burning into a hollow tree, and I felt like that was like emotionally very intimate for me because I read a lot on Druidism, so for me it felt like a religious experience. It felt like a spiritual symbolism for me,
That's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful.
and there was like a lot of bark scorpions and like big blue flies, and the water was super clear enough you can clean. There was like really weird flowers and stuff. It was a very beautiful place just to walk in and like, experience, especially when you're coming down from it.
Yeah.
But that experience was like very spiritual for me.
Alright, bro.
I was living in a bus for like 6-7
The
months.
school bus?
Yeah, it was a school bus.
That's dope, bro. You like the Into the Wild type of shit?
Yeah, I was in the wild type of shit. It
I
was very
kind of lived
entertaining.
in the same shit, man. When I was in Los Angeles, bro, I lived in a van. I fucking landed in Los Angeles and I was gonna stay with my sister, and then I went to South LA, and then I went from South LA, and they tried to there was like a weird thing with the landlord. He wanted to raise the rent like fucking insane amounts of money. So I moved into a van because I needed a place to stay like fast because I needed to still like live out there. And I lived in a van, and then I got back into an apartment, and then I had another apartment. Then I had another apartment for a long time, and I finished school, and then I went up to LA, and I did my first year with my buddy. Like kind of like taught me how to grow weed and shit, and how to like live off the land. Shout out to Alex Davies. And then the next year I lived in it was off the grid in like an RV. So it was like it's weird, bro. It's a different like it's there's a sense of freedom in it that you really have like no other. It's a little bit of like you can go and like it's not as glamorous as a lot of the fucking like the TikTok bullshit. It's like van life, like hashtag van life. Like I mean, it's just like you get like you do get a sense of freedom though. It's
more like Shame, like that TV show Shame.
Shameless.
Shameless was the Gritty Dirty. It's more like that than like glamour. That's more realistic towards like the living off the grid than like.
Well, if you're in like fucking encampment, not even encampments, but like if you're in like there's a whole community, but like there's the South LA was pretty shitty sleeping in the van. LA was hard sleeping in the van, but living in like in Northern California, there's like different like if I did, it would be like. It's weird, man. It's like if you're like sleeping in the van and you're going and you're seeing things and you're doing things, it's like a different feeling because but you have to stay nomadic in it. But how was school bus? It's complete school bus, and where you were parking and driving it.
The guy was parking and driving. Those older volunteers. We helped.
Oh, where?
I got this really cool thrift jacket in Seattle from volunteering there.
Nice.
I would say I would say the sunset. I
miss the sunset of over there. The
sunset's very beautiful. The most beautiful sun I ever seen was in Southern California by Victoria, up in the mountains, up in the high mountains by the Joshua trees. Mm-hmm. Seeing the sun rise up and the moon, it was very beautiful. Cause the Joshua trees almost look like hands coming out of the dirt, and like the sun. It looks like a giant dinner plate right in front of your face.
Yeah, that's nice. Ooh. Yeah, man. I miss the sun. That light over there is absolutely gorgeous.
You can take
light's beautiful here too.
You could take the most beautiful, gorgeous
like photos.
Photos. They'll look like something from a Hollywood movie. Look very cinematic with the crappiest camera. In Southern California.
It's the light that's doing the majority of the work. It's not necessary. I mean, the camera does a lot of the work, but it's like, it's the eye of the person who's taking the photo, and it's usually like the quality of the light. So the quality of light in California is bar none. This place, the light is cool here. I'm not saying it's like, nah, it's really, it's like playing with a different paint over here. Like if you're painting in like in Los Angeles or like in NorCal, you're painting with like very vivid like purples and fucking like you'll see when it hits the fucking when the magic hour happens, it's some of the most beautiful things you'll ever see.
I took really beautiful picture inside of San Francisco Aquarium by the Fisherman Wharf. I took really beautiful pictures inside the place. I feel like I feel like even if you go inside and the sun's not even there, the picture, everything just looks more colorful. The second most beautiful sunset I've seen was by St. Petersburg, Florida, Indiana Rock Beach.
Yeah.
They have seashells. The locals call them turkey wings, but like they're very iridescent. You see lots of purple and gold, metallic. The colors are very metallic. Yeah. You see like a metallic purple rainbow in the seashell.
Yeah.
California, Northern California, they have seashells. They have like metallic colors too.
Yeah.
And it's like blue. I still have some. Some of the seashells, they're beautiful. Because I like to it almost looks like jewelry.
It looks like what?
The jewelry, the shells jewelry, there, yeah. I like collecting shells.
Alright, bro. What brought you back to so you went over to California?
I lived in Southern California at Victoria Beach. I was helping this guy out. He was recycling trash.
Yeah.
So I did that for like a month and a half, and I got the softest pillow I ever had from that place.
Where, bro? And
it almost felt like a side quest. You know how in like video games you do random side quests, and the side quests give you like a really cool like item for it.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like Southern California was. It was some random side quest. I that I need to do to get the cool pillow.
Yeah. Alright.
And like,
Bro.
and Northern California was to get like the acid and like see the sunset, and like,
Bro.
and Redding was to get the puppy. I feel like
It's always a side quest.
yeah, I feel like my life will. I haven't reached like the main quest. It was all just random side quests to get the cool random items.
What do you think the quest is now for you?
Right now, I'm trying to write a book. I really want to write a 300-page chapbook.
Chapbook.
Yeah, I want to write a
Right.
poem, but I want the poem to have a theme that vaguely has like a short story to it,
Yeah.
but also be a series of poems. So I have one poem that was featured in Jersey City Theater that has a beginning, middle, and end. And I have an idea because I call it liminal drive.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna picture about a guy in a car because I feel that I wanted to go with lo-fi music. I want to be able to read the poem with lo-fi music in the background. So like, so the imagery I have is like a guy driving, and as he drives, he meets all these different characters, and all these different characters and stuff he experienced or stuff that I went through. So I can write about my poetry about living in a bus when I was living in Southern California.
Yeah.
All these different side quests I do will fit better
As
if the
a
main
piece.
as a different pieces where the guy is doing driving, and it'll go well with the lo-fi music. That's really what I really want to do. But like, my HDD will get me like an idea, and then I'll forget about it. And so I made an Instagram account called Liminal Drive Blue Hour, and I post little just street photographies of like car driving and sunsets.
Like a mood board.
Like a mood board, basically, yeah.
Oh,
to keep
that's
reminding
alright.
myself.
Word. Nice, dude.
And I have another one called Liminal Drive with an underscore in the middle that has like a picture of a manuscript, a example of a manuscript.
Yeah.
So I pin in those so I can to keep myself accountable, keep myself remind me I'll have to do. Because Liminal Drive Blue Hour, after 400 posts, Instagram said won't let me post it anymore.
Oh, you said
So,
movie,
like,
dude, it's censorship.
Yeah, they're like, you post too much, you're posting too much. So now I get Liminal Drive with a manuscript pen, because I already made a picture for the cover. I already have a cool picture for the cover. I already have different pictures, and I already have like authors that I feel inspired by that are really popular now. I have I think her name is Mary. She's one of my Facebook friends, and she wrote a poem. They won a contest, and I really like her style. It feels like very intimate, but also like binary. So like I was reading a lot of her poems over and over again to get like inspiration, to get like, cause my writing style is very atmospheric. I want to try to write more binary like that. So it's a chapbook, but also a way of me trying to grow as an artist. So it's also a journey for me growing as an artist, trying to write more in a style I like. Cause I seen that style a lot in Brooklyn. In Brooklyn and at open mics, I seen that style a lot everywhere.
Yeah.
But like when you hear it all the time, it's hard to like study it. But like if you have it written down and you're able to see it and read it, then it's a lot easier to like absorb it than just hearing it. So I'll read it and I'll look at different street photography pictures to visualize it as well. So because I learn things by visualizing it. So as I visualize it and I read it over and over again, and I visualize it and read over again, eventually my conscious mind, I feel like, will get like the gate of it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to like write it.
Nice, bro. Holy shit. All right, so you're visually stimulated to be able to write. All right, bro. Yeah, I'm like that too. With me, it's for a lot of the screenplays and shit that I've done, man. Fuck it, it's usually music. I hear a specific song, and I'll take it'll create a scenario. It'll, like, music has a form of taking you, like, and like there's like theme music, there's like, compositions, like, the soundtrack music and shit like that, and music is designed to put you in a certain place, but it's like I'll start with like just jamming out, like I make like a playlist of the movie, like I kind of like, you make like an album, but then you kind of generate the movie throughout the album, you know what I mean? Because the album, and it's not even an album, but like as a mixtape, the mixtape in itself is telling a story. So if you're going and say you have, I don't even know, like for like Philosophical Pimp was like the soul song. Let me see. A couple of them will, like, it'll inspire the visuals for me, and when it inspires the visuals for me, then the visuals are inspiring the writing. So I usually revert back to music and shit. But yeah, that's
I remember
my like anchor in screenwriting.
Yeah, I remember when people used to date by sending mixtape to each other, and that's how they used to flirt.
I actually paid my student dues by selling mixtapes. It was just what backpack selling.
Yeah.
At one point, man, I was, I think, the DVD guy when I was younger. You know what I mean? I was like, I worked in tech office, and I would just burn all these DVDs. I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier today. I worked in tech office, and I would just burn DVDs and like CDs, and I would just like resell them. I had a shitload of movies too. I was just like a bootleg DVD guy for a while. It's just, yeah, bro. But I don't know. It's weird because that, like, selling those things, man, got me like really into, like, I started like just burning fucking movies. I would download torrents and I would just make DVDs to be able to play them, and it made me like really start looking for cinema, like learning and finding new movies. Movies will inspire a lot, bro. They're like, it's like, for me, man, it's like weird, like all these like little things, like you said, like how you're saying, like doing side quests, like afternoon is like a side quest to, like, the street photography is like a side quest to making a movie, and then like you make the movie, and the movie is just this form. But it's a lot of like exercise in order to be able to make the movie, or maybe a little bit of both, but sometimes you get to make the movie, bro, and it's just such a fucking beautiful thing, like, just, yeah, man. I'm excited to hear about that project, bro. That's a pretty bountiful task, but I think you could do it. Definitely do it.
Yeah, cause like ChatGPT is actually helping me learn different writing style. Cause if you put in a writing style in it, and ask it to explain to you how this is,
Yeah.
and what makes this, then it tells you what it is, and then it helps us dissect different types of writing.
Yeah.
Like when I put it in my writing, when I used to read it a lot, people called it arcanic. But when I wrote it down, the machine said, this is a very atmospheric, psychological piece. And that was a really good critique. Like, I never really thought of it. So, like, I see it more as a... It helped... I don't think it's smart enough to, like, really do anything right now. But it's good enough to, like, help you learn your own style and different writing styles for me. I'm learning a lot from it.
Alright, bro. Nice. Alright, brother. What,
I mean, I remember Warehouse from the 90s to early 2000s. I remember going to Brooklyn to the Burning Man parties.
Yeah, you've been to Burning Man.
I've been to the Burning Man parties in Brooklyn. There's a lot of burners there.
Yeah.
So
Have you been to Burning Man, though? Yeah.
I haven't yet. It's $4,000 to go in, So, like, I don't have the money for that. Just to be in the desert, just to get bitten by flies and bugs and stuff.
Bro,
just deal with the sweat.
Go to the desert and trip out of my own skin.
Like, I've been to regional burns in Florida.
Really? It's a strange community. It's weird that energy comes up and shows up in this one, like, area. You know what I mean? Like, it's a festive one. I think it gets very but I like the philosophy, a lot of it. I haven't been to Burning Man yet.
But I feel like, I don't know, it just feels like once things get planted in Brooklyn, it sort of becomes like more mainstream and spreads out everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Brooklyn's one of those like hot spots where like I feel like things starts in the West Coast, but it doesn't become mainstream. It becomes mainstream once the West Coast goes into Brooklyn. Once the West Coast stuff goes into Brooklyn, and then it gets spreads out the rest of the world. Because I feel like
Patterson's got a weird hot spot. Patterson's like fucking. It's strange, bro. Like a little bit like Reading too. Reading's like one of those like little small towns where it's like. There's not a lot of art scene in Reading. There's just a lot of people who are like trying, like, you know what I mean. Like, it's not like, you know, trendy. But there's a big coffee scene, and there's a big like Christian scene. And there's like what is it? The fucking Bethel people, the Bethel Catholic people. But like Patterson's scene is Patterson's creative energy has been like. There's always, the city has always gotten like a weird history of like.
the first atomic submarine was in Patterson
Really?
by Little Falls, by the waterfall.
Yeah, by Great Falls.
Because those mountains were strong enough to withstand if they exploded or something.
Yeah.
And there's bats in Patterson too. There's a waterfall. Patterson's like, I feel like Patterson could be his own like Fallout game map. It has all these like random things in it.
It is now, bro. Sometimes it's getting a lot better. It's gotten way better.
I miss the art fact.
Art Factory.
Yeah, there used to be people that do art shows at the Ivanhoe. Ivanhoe used to have like open mics and art scenes there.
Yeah. What happened to the Ivanhoe?
Ivanhoe shut down, but like that was.
I heard a lot about it. There was a talk of people like bringing it back, but I don't know what the deal is with it.
Ken was the guy behind it.
Yeah. What was his name?
Forgot his last name, but his first name is Ken.
Ken.
I'm sure if you Google Ken
Ivanhoe
Ivanhoe on Facebook, it'll appear.
Meh.
Self Perpetual used to do open mics there.
What a fucking Daniel Martin show.
Yeah, he used to be there. That's where I met him. It was at Ivanhoe.
We just go and just do bass and like fucking sing and shit.
Yeah, and Art Factory was a lot more friendlier. In the early 2000s, way more friendly. They used to have a lot of art shows, a lot of art events. I used to have my paintings were at Art Factory at one time. Because they were very friendly, open to like everyone have their art shows and stuff. They're very at the beginning.
They're the beginning of the
very beginning. They're very open, and then once they're, I think.
Everybody tells me this guy's an asshole.
Well, yeah, because like in the beginning it was very open.
I don't know the person.
I don't know either.
Everybody tells me the guy who's the Art Factory is kind of being it is like a very, very short-tempered guy. But I don't know.
I can't really say because I never met the guy, but like I heard the same thing.
Yeah.
From a lot of people. I know
he's doing a lot of shit, man.
Walking Dead was there. They had a music show. They had a music video there.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a lot of big names. A lot of big names went to that area, and then I guess
it's a big wedding spot too.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're doing a wedding around.
But it's sad.
But it's weird because the Ivanhoe is so close to it. You think it would be like they would start opening shit back up like that.
I mean,
I
wish Ivanhoe was adopted into the Art Factory, and they still did art shows with Ivanhoe at that place. That'd be amazing. But at the same freaking time, I feel like nature always balances itself, and I feel like because Ivanhoe and Art Factory died out, Prototype came in to replace it. So it was like nature replenishing itself.
Yeah. Word, bro. That's cool, bro. Yeah, man, fucking.
I feel like that way to me because it was like Ivanhoe and Art Factory, and then they died out.
It's a whole different. It's a different beast, bro.
It's a different
beast. It's like.
But I can see how Alex and John were in Burning Man and how that influenced them, and then that influenced Prototype.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of the artwork feels like Fallout.
The artwork.
Yeah. It feels like a pirate ship got crashed.
Yeah.
And then you upcycle the pirate ships, and then you turn into some 80s Fallout type thing.
Yeah. Word, bro. It's fucking dope.
I like when he does add light to it. When that lights to it, it feels like almost like a upcycle stained glass.
Yeah. John's an amazing artist, man.
You,
He
the name prototype goes super well with his art style.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Word.
That's the best name you can give to his art style. It has
Did you go to 660 at all? Like back in the Jersey City days?
yeah, and that's where I met Irish.
With Iris?
I
Okay.
first met Irish at I met him. I wasn't as close. He was like a guy that was there,
Yeah.
but I met him at Jersey. Newark had an art scene, Seed Gallery and Index art scene, and I met him when that was there.
Yeah.
Then I met him again at Alex Gray Chapel of Mirrors
Yeah.
in upstate. I met him there again, and then and then after I meet him there, I met him again at Studio 66 Studio.
That's
I was like, oh, you're here? Yeah.
Such a small community.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, but like it's getting more condensed as time goes by.
What do you mean?
Like the art scene was way big, with warehouses and like factories and open mics. But then as things get more expensive, the people who see it as therapy, who do see it as a spiritual thing, they stay in. But the people who are just there for the trends and stuff, they sort of move on and do their own thing. So in that sense, the art becomes more. The people that are there for a while, people that have been for a long time, who've seen it all, and then they share their experience to the new people. So in that sense, it becomes more like a condensed soup, I feel like.
Word, bro. Huh.
That's why I see with like Generation Z, like they don't really have their own thing. Their thing is very much like stuff we did when we're in our youth, right? And then they mix this stuff with they like and they add in their own stuff. Like Tom the Mailman, that song is his own thing, but you can see influence from like the early 2000 type rock and like some like, and the way the guy sings sounds a little bit like. You can see like the early 90s in it. You can see early 2000s in it. It has that vibe, but it's a completely different song. It's his own thing. It's his own genre. It's his own vibe, but you can see the influence like that. And then in that retrospect, I can see the art scene around our area sort of like that, from like stuff that as things get more expensive and things get more condensed.
Word.
That's what I mean when things get more expensive, it's more condensed because like they can't really pay the same amount of money we did, but because it was a lot cheaper for us, we're allowed to experiment. So they just take. It's almost like they take our experimenting thing as sort of like base research to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Because they
yeah.
can't afford to research and experiment.
Yeah.
Because it was too expensive.
So they let the artists go in first, and then they start the capital.
So they, yeah, because everything because what I don't like about gentrification is that they use art as a weapon, when it's like it's something supposed to be spiritual. It's supposed to be a ritual thing, but they sort of like weaponize it. And when the town gets super cool and poppy and people want to go in because they love the culture, they take away the culture and use
by pricing the people.
by pricing the people out, and people can't live there anymore. And then it becomes a clickbait.
Yeah.
So it's very clickbait because people go there for the culture, but the culture's not there.
Yeah.
But they want to say they live in Brooklyn.
That's awesome.
They
bro.
want to say they live in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is like a brand. Brooklyn's like a McDonald's brand, right? Because like everyone wants to go to Brooklyn. They want to go to Bushwick. They want to go to House of Yes.
Yeah. Morganville.
Yeah, they want to do that. Or Ridgewood.
Yeah.
Or the Keep in Ridgewood is a popular place too.
Really? Yeah. No, I lived in Bushwick, but Bushwick was when Bushwick became Bushwick because of that show Girls.
Yeah.
And fucking. Man, it was weird. It was like, this place was like a hood, like, you know what I mean? But now it's so close to proximity of Williamsburg, where everybody, it's like this like trendy fucking thing going in. Like Bushwick went through gentrification, I think, like around like fucking 2008, 2010, and now it's like you can't even make anything. It's like every single loft is like impossible to make anything. And like, I mean, it's just so much about rent and so much about whatever that it's like you're priced out because of the thing. So it just ends up attracting all these yuppies who don't really bring anything to the culture. A lot of the times, man, the art is like getting like reflected off of like, you know, just people's like struggles, and it's like, you know, going in and you have these people who are fucking like kind of, they haven't really like, but then there's great artists, and I'm not fucking shitting on artists and fucking Bushwick. I'm just saying like fucking like it's just like you're putting so much pressure on the person to actually come up with just like the money to be able to just keep like the thing, and fucking the art is like kind of taking a toll on that, you know what I mean? It's like it's the pressure to sell instead of somebody to actually being able to fucking to be able to like make the piece, you know what I mean? It has to be like the amount of like risk and fucking whatever for that. It has to like, it reflects in the art because there's that like, there's a sense of urgency in those cases because of this pricing out, and it's I don't know, man, it's fucking.
You can hear it in music too. The music from the 70s, 80s, they had their own thing.
Yeah.
But now music, even the early 2000s, people that with like the new metal, emu, whatever it's called now.
Emo rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's sort of like electronic and it sounds all the same, so it's not very official. So I think I was talking about this guy in the train. They grew up in Denver. He was saying how Denver used to be all warehouses. Used to be very hood. You used to be able to pay $600 a month to live in Denver.
Yeah.
Now it's $3,000, $5,000.
Yeah, it's a whole place
It's in
now.
Manhattan now.
Yeah.
It became Manhattan.
Yeah.
Same thing that happened in Brooklyn and Manhattan.
I remember when I lived in Brooklyn, man, they used to have advertisements for move to Detroit. There was a lot of advertisements in Bushwick that were like, just move to Detroit, you'll get the same fucking warehouse and whatever. They were trying to like, not clickbait, what's it called, like a redirect, like a website redirect these motherfuckers to Detroit, because Detroit's a housing market, and they wanted to get that, like, you know what I mean? They wanted to be like, oh, if you can't fucking do this, go this is, and there would be a lot of, and there were serious fucking, like, you know, advertisements of like, yo, move to Detroit. New Jersey's got that right now with film. We offer tax incentives to be like a redirect of,
I think this month.
bought Netflix.
I think just this month Netflix bought Fort Myers.
Yeah. Shout out to David Schoner. He's a film commissioner here. He's the Governor Murphy was really lenient on a tax program for film, and
That's good. That means Hollywood's returning back to New Jersey because it started here.
yeah, we're actually getting Hollywood back. It's pretty nuts. And it's also that not gentrification, but like that pricing out, man. Like, so I moved back to Patterson because of my family, and it's like my heritage and everything's all here, bro. It's like my family's home is here. And it was strange because, you know, I love the city. I love the city like so much. Like it's a feeling I get here because I feel like I'm home. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Silk City, people call it.
yeah. Fucking a lot, but it's a place called home, man. Fucking what's it called? So coming back and spending this whole time in California, coming back and like. I always made films, like, you know what I mean? I went to film school out there, but the thing is, when you're a filmmaker in Cali, it's like, you know, dime a dozen, motherfucker. Everybody wants to be the next director or fucking act, you know what I mean? It's like in New Jersey, there's a philosophy behind film where John Cassavetes, who got thanked last night by Steven Spielberg on the fucking Golden Globes, because Fableman's just like kicked some ass and fucking just grabbed like I have to watch it now, fucking, but anyway, so Steven Spielberg was once a PA for this director called John Cassavetes, right? And he would go and get coffee, whatever. And John Cassavetes is like the godfather of indie film. Like he like pioneered like American New Wave, all this shit. And he has a philosophy on film where it's like you have to make pieces that are like, it's like a having fun, it's like having like you know, the intimacy of friends and your friends creating something. You know, like I have that here because I have like my friends, my like people I grew up with the most. Like going over there, it's a transplant thing, and you're directing, but you're directing like people that are like either going in to be casted. It's like it's more of a, but it's like, you know, here, like, you know, we're free to like make art and like actually like jam. You know what I mean? That's a privilege, bro. But to come back and be home, but to see that industry leave, because there was like, you know, there's New York, you can live in New York and fucking do it, but now there's
in
a
New
fucking
York,
film
you can go
industry in New Jersey.
in New York, right? Just walking down the block, I always get passed by people who are filming something,
Really?
and then I'm like, wait, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of filming in Puerto Rico.
In New York.
Oh, New York,
Like,
yeah,
and during the summertime,
yeah,
I would walk. I like walking and just exploring new things in the city,
yeah.
and I would bump into like an actor.
Yeah.
And like and there's like, cut. I'm like, wait, what? I'm sorry, I didn't knew. I didn't see anything.
It's like theater. Theater in New York is a very like. There's a lot of people who are in the theater over there.
Yeah.
And then like in LA, there's a theater scene. It's pretty big. You know what I mean? There's like a lot.
I think it's dying out because of COVID. The glory thing. I saw live Broadway. It's amazing. It's good art.
What? Which one? The theater scene over there. There was a couple like really cool playhouses, man. Like I think there was like Sacred Fools in East Hollywood. There's still like, but the clubs that are really the clubs over there now are now like the institutions where it's like Second City, and Second City fucking just preps. You're gonna be the next Chris Farley, buddy. You know what I mean? It like preps people like it. But there's still like necessary, like, you know, they're very good like instructors and shit like that. But there's learning acting, like acting in Hollywood is like you're obviously working in film. That's or like you're going toward, like there's a scene for, you know, like, you know, plays going over there, but it's not as big as the New York scene is. Like there's like fucking, it's like, you know, there's a lot of but there was an old like agency saying where it would like, you know, they would go and you would get somebody. This is the whole thing of flying out to LA. But when you're in like that ecosystem, I feel like you're just always working. But it's crazy to see it come back to New Jersey, man. And it's like to get like different perspectives. And it's what like Netflix filmed The Irishman here, and I think, you know, they either saved a lot of fucking money doing it. Jim Jarmusch did Patterson, but he kind of like always filmed around the area, and it wasn't even like it wasn't like a tax thing or anything. He just like, he lives in the Lower East Side. He just comes to Wayne and like, you know, parts of New Jersey, and like I guess hangs out with like people over here, and he'd just he'd film over here. But it's crazy because here in the Lower East Side, feel like they have like a very common like bond. I don't know. It's like this feeling of like just like an energy that I feel that I have in Patterson and the Lower East Side. Lower East Side's very like quaint and fucking, you know. There's a push to make things. Yeah. Word.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's some photogenic places here, like the bridge by Esora, Queens.
Yeah.
At nighttime, super beautiful.
Yeah.
The view of the city from Guttenberg.
Oh, Guttenberg. Yeah, I lived in Union City for a long time.
Yeah, those are really beautiful places that are very photogenic in that area. If you get in the right time, you can take amazing view of the city.
Yeah.
The Palisades around here.
Yeah, everybody tells me about the Palisades. I haven't been a lot, but I really want to go.
Palisades here is really beautiful.
Yeah.
You can see the sunset and like the city. That's like one of the most photogenic places around this area.
Where, bro?
I used to bike ride a lot. I would bike ride from Clifton towards Brooklyn, cross the bridge, see the sunset, just see the sunset and the sun reflect out the buildings. But mostly I would bike ride to the mall, by Garden State Mall, a lot.
Where,
I miss the mall rat scene in the
there was a huge mall rat
There's a huge
scene.
mall rat scene. There's just tons of mall goth.
Yeah, you don't see them
kids.
anymore.
You don't see them anymore.
Is that COVID? Is that COVID? Does it finally
Well, like
on the
before
coffin, or was
COVID, I think the last hint was there used to be 2 arcades that were open all the time by Willowbrook.
Fun and Games.
Fun and Games, and then when that died, the scene started dying out. And it was cool because you would meet people,
Yeah.
make friends with people, and it's a very. Well, what was important about that scene? It was you get really rich upper class people that had depression. They'll talk to really poor people that didn't.
Huh.
And
Like kids from Caldwell would meet
Yeah.
kids from fucking Patterson and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's very surrogate. You see really rich people in Wayne, and you see really poor people in Patterson, and like they're all mixed together, and they'll bond in the house parties. Like my mom's going to Spain this month, and I have the whole house to myself, so I'm gonna join a house party this weekend, and people go in and hang out and have fun, and that'll give enough time for them to fix everything, clean everything up, and for social.
Just it broadened
just-
people's horizons.
Yeah.
Those spots like that.
Yeah.
Where there'll be some person here and then one person here.
You meet people from Cedar Grove.
Yeah.
Like it made me. It was a window to. You didn't even felt like you're from New Jersey and knew anyone from New Jersey until you go to the mall scene, and then you talk to different people from different New Jerseyans from different towns, and see how different the culture is. Different, the vibes are all different. People from Cedar Grove have their own thing. People from Passion have their own thing. People win their own thing. It's not as homogeneous as the TV makes it sound like. This New Jersey and Mallrats.
Yeah.
They make it sound very homogeneous.
Nah, it's
but
all different homes.
it's different homes, because there's different classes too. There's like the upper middle class there, and so like that's what got me into more and like going to activism and going to like that. Feel like that gave me a sense of class consciousness.
What?
Class conscious
Class conscious.
of the area, because I didn't know how like, because I thought me growing up in Patterson, I thought. It sounds silly saying it now, but I thought shootings were normal. I thought gangs were normal. I thought that was just how everywhere it was.
Yeah.
And talking to someone like, dude, that's crazy. That's not normal.
Yeah.
And then telling me, don't your family go on vacation? I'm like, no, that's not normal. And then so having conversations like that, because people who live upper think that's normal.
Yeah.
And people who are low think that's normal.
Yeah.
But talking to people, say, wait, that's not normal for me.
Yeah.
It raises your consciousness.
Yeah.
So you see a world from a different perspective.
Right.
That was a very important thing for the community. I felt like people laugh at it as like a from Kevin Smith movie, and that's about it. But like, New Jersey has more malls collectively than anywhere else in the world. So it was a big part of the culture here.
It brings me back to when I was a kid, man. Just going to Willowbrook. It was like you would just being like a high school kid going through fucking like a mall was like, it was weird because you never didn't know if you'd see your friend or if like, you know what I mean, it was just a small like collective scene, and it'd be it'd be nuts like that, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but going and like seeing like how like everybody, how we were all just acting like as kids, man. We were all just like coming from these different backgrounds. Cool. It brought me back, my bad, bro. I fucking forgot. Like fun and games was such a wonderful place. I'm really sad that place like closed down. But it's just all. I haven't been to Willowbrook in years. Fucking years, bro.
Yeah. That's what like, Amazon gives you convenience, but doesn't give you the sense of culture as a mall does, and all the malls are dying out.
It's shitty.
I mean, I feel like
actually not shitty. I
feel like
I don't know. Amazon just wins. Is that what it is? It's just Amazon just wins.
But like, if Amazon wins and AI wins and because with ChatGPT it gives you like, you can sign lawyers, doctors, everyone's gonna play with AI than what people need to survive.
Yeah.
Like, it's more convenient. All these tools are very convenient. It's interesting. But like, if you can't even do a painting or direct a movie, do anything that's artistic, because AI can do that too.
Yeah,
then,
that's
like,
the fucking problem.
It's like it's just replacing humanity.
Yeah.
But what's people gonna do?
Yeah.
AI can do everything. It's like, that's what I feel like. That same energy is what like Amazon did with the malls.
Yeah. Just
When people talk
just
about
drop off points, you don't even have to go anywhere. Get out of here. Here's this fucking guy. That's crazy. Anyway, all right, word. Shout out to Tiger Bamboo. Thank you for coming on afternoon, bro. check us out. You want to shout out your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is tigerburnbamboo_. I have Tiger Bamboo, but like I haven't been really using that much because like I feel like I've been jamming on that one because I post a lot. So then now I have tigerburnbamboo_. I'm also, if you're aware of Clubhouse, a social audio app, I'm a founder of Reframing Trauma. There, I talk up a lot. I have a lot of friends who are psychologists and therapists, and I like, especially during the pandemic, I feel like people really needed that. So I talk a lot about stuff like that there.
Where?
So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, bro. You're awesome, bro. All right, thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. Afternoon FM.